Hello everyone, welcome to new episode of Machine Learning for Healthcare Experts video course. Uh, Today we will talk about drift. So why a model that showed perfect or very good sensitivity and specificity that we discussed last time in the beginning during deployment or validation, but after 6 months it became worse. In 24 months it became completely unusable. So what's the reason and how to mitigate this? So that it's called AI drift. So when model performance changes over time. So assume we have some AI model for intensive care that should predict deterioration of patient in the next 6 hours. Assume like this is valuable, we know how to react on this, and actually it works. Hospital deployed it and uses for some months and everybody happy. It improved quality of care and reduced amount of alarms, for example. But then after some time, so in our experiment, like mind experiment, model never changes, nothing changes. We don't change threshold, we don't change weights, nothing. So everything stays completely the same. And here is baseline performance. So like positive predicted value well, specificity, sensitivity like around 80%. This is actually not bad. Alert rate like 29%. So how many alarms we do? Okay, great. We're happy with it. But then we changed device. So for example, it became a little bit different device that provide one of the metrics for as an input of the model. I don't know, SpO2 sensor or blood gas analysis or something else. And specificity can reduce, for example, for some reason, because assume measurement became more accurate and model provides more often alarms for some reason. So we see that alarm rate increased and positive predictive value decreased. So that's something wrong. Then we introduced new protocol that, for example, changes how many times nurses come to patient or what procedure they do. And it also affects overall metrics. Then new treatment was introduced. For example, new drug that reduced temperature, but other parameters are not changed. Or for example, new sedation that also changes patient behavior. And this already significantly reduce usefulness of the model. So specificity dropped like almost half. Sensitivity increased, but there are a lot of alarms appeared, so false alarms. Or for example, it's some drug that actually improves patient condition, but it temporarily increased temperature. And it led to a lot of false alarms. And then population changed. So it became older, for example, and or it's some kind of long COVID, or it's something else happened, and or we have more patients with some trauma that overall have some markers that were earlier considered as a high risk of deterioration, but for this patient that they are pretty okay, and it leads to the fact that we almost cannot use this model anymore. So it mistakes more than half of the time. And that's how it looks. So it was initial deployment, we were happy with it. And then specificity was dropping and the amount of alarms increased twice, and the value of each alarm became like very low. So that's for example that's example how we can, with change of protocol, we see that it was 107 more false positive cases. So it was 185 and now it's 292 false positive cases with absolutely the same algorithm. So that's something that happens sometimes, and that we must take it into account, and we must track performance of the model constantly. So that's actually mitigation strategy. So we should have some reference, some baseline, how it works now. We should see what happens. We should track monthly or maybe quarterly at least metrics. And we need to take into account what metrics are taken as an input to the model. So that's why important to know how this model works, what kind of data it takes, because if we change some protocol that doesn't provide this metric anymore, so we can expect that the model performance will change and maybe significantly. And that's something that is important to do. So it doesn't mean that it makes our model unusable, but it's something that require our attention and maintenance. So unfortunately, AI, it's not something it's deployed and you can forget about this forever. No, it's something that requires some attention, but still it can provide additional value if you work with this correctly. So this important material about AI drift, it's not something that widely discussed at the moment, but it's something that I assume will be very hot topic in a couple of years, when all the models that are deployed now in hospitals will become worse in like 2-3 years. So, and we all need to be prepared for this, to have infrastructure to track model performance, and obviously it should be automated, because otherwise it will be very expensive. So keep in mind, follow us on LinkedIn or YouTube, ask questions, please share to colleagues, provide feedback. We will be happy to listen to your feedback to make these videos much better and more helpful.